Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Mafia Roundtable. This is Dominic Sicali. Please hit the subscribe button if you like this video. Today's video, I'm going back old school when I first got into the drug business. Not first, but my biggest drug deal ever back in the day. I was close with Joey Cupcakes. Joey lived on Pleasant Avenue in Harlem. His father was Angelo Cheesecake, Angelo the Jet. He was close with my Uncle Peter, Pete the Neck. So they were always together, always sitting in Rayos. The father was always complaining about his son. At the time, Joey bought a big white Mercedes four-door. This car was pimped out, golded out to the teeth. We loved the car, just driving around in it. But the father was going wild. You're going to get me pinched. You're going to get me arrested. And Joey just didn't care. He did what he wanted to do, as well as myself. But his father was a force to be reckoned with. There'll be stories about Angelo in future podcasts. But with Joey, it started out, we met each other in the Bronx. And then I went down to Harlem, so we started getting a relationship. He was actually supplying Alpo, who was a notorious drug dealer in Harlem, who went out to D.C. First time I met Alpo, we sold him some shotguns, which I had the guns. I went with Joey, went to an apartment in Harlem, sold him the guns. At this time, Joey was close friends with another gentleman, a kid at that time, Frankie. Frankie's no longer with us. Frankie was put on. Now, Joey and Frankie, they were selling weed, and everybody was always trying to get the coke. So finally, Frankie scored the coke, keys and keys of coke, one of the connections. And it just so happened to be the guy who was giving him the coke was another Italian guy. But he made Frankie promise he could not partner up with Joey because of Joey's father, because the guy would definitely get killed if Joey's father found out about it. So with that, Frankie basically excluded Joey from the deal, and Frankie was selling keys of coke. So it just so happened, I broke up with my partner, Michael Sullivan, when we were younger, and I'll go into stories about that later on, how we started out. But at this time, I didn't see Michael for about 6 or 7 months. All of a sudden, a red Porsche, he had a 924, if I'm correct, that just came out or they've been out. Red, beautiful car, pulled up, window, blacked out window rolls down. It's Michael. What the fuck? And he said, Dom, I told you to come with me to, and at that time, I got away from the drug business. But lo and behold, it was 6 months, 7 months, 8 months later, I saw Michael and he had came up. He was selling a lot of coke in the neighborhood. So, of course, Michael and I were close. Michael was putting me on, so I could start earning. So I saw all the money, all the cars, with the cars and everything he had. So I said, Mike, let me see, what are you paying for a kilo of coke? And I think at the time he was paying like $32,000 for a kilo. Let me see what I could do. I could probably do better for you, and I could make a few dollars. So Mike said, go ahead, Dom, whatever you could do. Let me know. I'll buy the key. I'll let you know when I need to re-up. So basically, he called me on a Wednesday. He said, listen, I'm running low. I'll need a new key. If you could get it by Friday, let me know. If you can't get it by Friday, I have to go to my old source and pay the $32,000. It's all right. Thank you. With that, I go down from Harlem. I see Frankie. Hey, I need a key of coke. Can you hook me up? Frankie's like, yeah, I got you. What do you want? You want two? I said, no, I need one. What's the price? Frankie was giving it to me, I think $24, $25. I said, perfect, I'll take it. So Frankie says, here, take the coke. I said, no, come with me. Come up to the Bronx, stay in my house, and I'll make the sale, and I'll give you the money. And Frankie's like, Dom, just take the damn coke. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm like, Frankie, just come, please. So, that was my first big deal, so I didn't want to fuck up in any way, shape, or form with it. Frankie said, all right. Comes with me to the Bronx, go up to my apartment. He waits in my bedroom. With that, I take the key. I go see Michael. I charged Michael, I think, 28 or 29,000. I was making like 3 or 4,000 off the key. So I was happy with that. Michael counted out the money, gave me the money. I go back to see Frankie. We're in my bedroom. Frankie's counting. Gave him all the money he left. Dom, excuse me. He says, Dom, you want another key? I'll leave it here with you. And, just give it to me next week. I'm like, no, Frank, I'll just call you next week. I'll get another key. I might take 2. Because Michael was telling me, damn, he liked the price. And maybe he'll take 2. So with that, Frankie leaves. I go out. I party like a rock star. The next 2 days, I'm out partying, having a good time, spending the money. When I came home, I probably had nothing left in my pockets. That's just as fast as it came, as fast as it went. Young, wild, and stupid. Week goes by. Michael tells me he needs another key. I page Frankie. No response on his pager. I shoot down to Harlem. I'm looking for him. I see a few guys. Hey, where's Frankie? Oh, we don't know. We haven't seen him. We don't know. We haven't seen him. I'm like, I'll be a son of a bitch. Can't find Frankie. With that, I go back up to the Bronx. I'm like, Mike, I can't find my connect. He's not around. Let me try. And I tried for about continuous for the next 2 weeks. No Frankie. Like, I'll be a son of a bitch. So I see Joe. Hey, what's going on? You see Frankie? No, I haven't seen Frankie. I haven't seen him at all. Maybe about, I want to say, 6 months, a year. I'm really not sure of the time because we're going back in the 80s now. Late 80s, middle to late 80s. All of a sudden it comes out, Frank's body pops up in the Hudson River. I think he was in a barrel. Barrel came up. They discover remains. It was Frankie. I'm like, oh, I'll be a son of a bitch. And just before that too, before Frankie even gave me the key of coke, I remember when Frankie came off, he was one of the only ones. It was Frankie, Joey, myself, and I think 2 more guys were heading down to a car dealership downtown Manhattan. There was a Corvette. I think the new style Corvettes came out. Frankie wanted one. He put an order in for a yellow. He was going to give more money towards the payment of the car. And Frankie had the cell phones. At the time, it was a big case. It was like a small suitcase. That was the cell phone. You'd carry that, and you had the phone on the case. So, we were all close, banging around, having fun, having laughs. But at that time, Frankie was the only one that came up. And I guess there was a lot of animosity. Then all of a sudden, it came out. They have the wake. I didn't attend the wake, but I heard Joey Cupcakes. He was hysterical, tried to open up the casket, big scene. And then months later, somebody, I think, told on him, but it came out he was the one that killed Frankie. Best friends. They grew up from childhood. I remember seeing them in the roller rink together. There was a place called Streets in Mount Vernon. And I'm going back, I was 15, 16, we were in these clubs. They were there. They were into the dancing and everything, wearing the matching sweatshirts all graffitied out. That's how close they were. And it came out Joey killed Frankie. So right away, everybody's talking. And what I heard happened, right after Frankie left me that evening, he went to meet up with Joey. Joey had told him, look, I have a big marijuana deal going down. I need $250,000. Frankie was backing Joey. Said, okay, I'll put up the money. They got in the car. They went, boom. They killed Frankie in the car. And Joey wound up keeping the money. I guess opened the trunk. Frankie obviously had some kilos of coke because he was going to give it to me. But then I thought about it. I'm like, I'll be a son of a bitch. If I would have just told Frankie, okay, yeah, I'll see you later on. I'll see you next week or next day. I would have came up with the money. Like my first deal, I just hit a home run. But, it's not even about the money at that time. But you were just thinking about like, fuck, what luck may have it. Or luck may have had it. I would have been with Frankie that night, and I would have been killed too. So, God was always looking over my shoulder, watching out for me. But it's sad when you see a best friend killing somebody else. I remember even talking to Vinny about it when I came home. He said, that guy, never trust him. So I told him I was close with Joey back in the day. I mean, from selling coke, we were getting involved in selling heroin. And he said, Dom, don't ever trust that guy because what he did is despicable. Stand-up guy, don't get me wrong, to the max, but he can never be trusted. So if everybody likes that story, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We have much more to come. I'll go back even old school stories. And everybody just have a wonderful evening, morning, and afternoon. Peace out. Much love.